There is no denying that the holidays can be a very stressful time. For lots of people, it's not the most wonderful time of the year, but it's definitely the most stressful time of the year. So today, I want to give 9 pretty quick and easy tips to help make your holiday season just a little bit less stressful. Hi, if we've not met before, I'm Shelley from Taming Frenzy. The first tip is for you to simply admit that you've got some unresolved feelings about holidays. And you're not alone if this is the case. Many of us have had holiday seasons that didn't go as expected, that were possibly filled with too many expectations, too many burdens, possibly filled with grief. Often the holidays bring up lots and lots of feelings that are not the happy feelings that you see on TV and that you hear in all the Christmas music around. There is nothing wrong with admitting that the holiday season is a stressful time for you, or that it's a time that brings back possibly some painful memories. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that you may be suffering from a little bit of anticipatory dread. A lot of folks have that because they have an idea of what kinds of things are going to be expected of them and what kinds of feelings are going to come up. There's lots to do. There's frequently extra work. And so it's okay for us to admit that this is not always the most wonderful time of the year and that we do have some feelings about it, positive or negative. A second tip is I would encourage you to reflect on holidays past. Think about the things that you and your family enjoyed. Think about the things that you also did not enjoy. By looking back and evaluating the things and determining what were the positive things that were done, what were the things that were negative, it helps you to figure out what kinds of things are the most important to continue doing and what kinds of things you want to possibly drop out of that holiday queue and let those things go. It's important to get family input on this, so as early as you can, sit down and talk to your family members. Ask them for their input. What have they enjoyed in the past? What would they possibly like to let go in the future? And what might they like to add in the future? Third, then builds on this. Then decide what activities you're going to drop out of that list of holiday expectations and events and what you're going to keep. And also, what events or activities or things might your family be looking forward to adding this year? Just because something has been done in the past and has been a tradition for a long time does not mean that you have to continue doing it. It is okay for traditions to change and evolve as our needs and the needs of our family members, as those things change as well. And I'll give you a personal example with this. One year, some years ago, I had gone back to school and was working on a graduate degree, and it was Thanksgiving. And we had Thanksgiving dinner, and after dinner, everyone had, disappeared and gone off to their corners of the house. When I figure out and decide that, okay, I need to get the tree and the house decorated because I've got to get busy working on my paper and my assignments tomorrow. Today's the only afternoon. And so I get a little bit of help pulling some of the things out, but I get some grumbles. And after a little while, I'm sitting there trying to decorate the tree and pull things out, and nobody's helping me. And as I sit there working on this, I am getting more and more frustrated, and honestly, I'm getting angrier by the minute until I finally have one of those meltdowns that we have every now and then, when I basically melt down and tell people, either you get out here and help me do this stuff, or we're just not going to do it. Well, joke was on me. Guess what? Their response was, Mom, we don't really care about all those decorations, and it's perfectly fine with us for us not to do that. I was stunned, to be real honest. I thought because we had always had all these particular decorations, and because we had always had the big tree out and those things, I thought we needed to continue doing that. What I had not taken into account was the fact that my kids were older at that point. They were no longer little bitty kids. Our family situation had changed. I was back in school full-time in addition to working full-time. And our needs and our desires for how to celebrate the season, they were different than this idea that I had stuck in my head. So it's okay to let some things go. Since that particular Thanksgiving, our holidays have changed. We generally do not do the great big single tree anymore. Instead, we have a long rock planter where I put about 4 small trees that I can decorate by myself and that I don't need assistance with. And I don't go all out for decorating like I used to. But that's okay. No one's judging. Fourth, once you have gotten some input from your family members, y'all together need to prioritize What is the most important? It's kind of like triage in the medical field. You may still have a long list of things everybody wants to do, but that's where you need to, as a group, collectively decide what's the most important, what's the second most important, and come up with a priority list so that you can make sure that the very most important things are the things that you actually get to. Nobody wants to get to the end of the holiday season and have people disappointed because they missed the most important thing to them. Fifth, let other people know, extended family, what decisions you have made about the things that you are and are not going to participate in this year. It's better to do this as early as you can because it helps to soothe feelings. It helps prevent some of those hard feelings that people might have if they feel like something was sprung on them as a surprise at the last minute. It's important to realize that, yes, it's possible. There may be some ruffled feathers and some feelings that are not quite happy with this, but the more time that people have to get used to the idea that things are changing, the easier and the smoother that transition will be. Keep in mind, you and your family have made some determinations, have set some priorities, and you're not asking permission. Sixth, and I think this is a big key to getting things done, is to make a plan for the things that you're going to do, that you're going to buy, that you're going to clean, and that you're going to decorate. I happen to be a girl who believes that with a really good plan, you can move the world. So sit down and make a very detailed list. You might divide it into categories: things to cook, things to decorate, places to go, things to participate in. And then list every single task you can think of. Get very specific here. This needs to be a very detailed list because the more specific the list is, the less likely it is for things to fall through the cracks and you forget about them. Next, the seventh thing you're going to do is you're going to take a look at this very detailed list, and then you're going to sit down with your calendar, your day planner, your digital planner, however you keep that, and you then need to schedule in time to do all of these things. If you know that you're going to be decorating 3 different rooms, you're going to need to figure out about how much time do I need to clean and decorate those 3 rooms, and then look on your calendar and determine when am I going to do those things. If you know from years past that it generally takes you an entire day to wrap presents or whatever, you need to then find the day and schedule that. Otherwise, it's real easy at the last minute for you to look up right before Christmas and have company come in and things in the oven and realize, oh my goodness, I forgot to do such and such. Creating a detailed list and then scheduling it in so you have a time set to do it, that's the key to getting everything done. Also, don't forget that it is okay to delegate and to ask for help. The 8th tip is to, as early as possible, sit down and create a budget. Don't forget to include things like food, gifts, travel, decor, giving, any of those things that make up your holiday expenditures. Sit down and think about how much are you going to be able to allot for those particular items this year. And if you can, the best way to approach it is to then figure up a total dollar amount, and next year, start at the beginning of the year in January, and each month, take that number and divide it by 12 and save that much each month to go into your Christmas fund so that when the holiday season rolls around, you're not scrambling or having to put it on credit cards or take out a loan or something else to have to pay for it. I know this is easier said than done, but a little bit at a time, saved up, certainly makes those expenses not seem like quite such a blow to the budget. And 9th, give yourself the gift of time. You know, this season can be a double-edged sword sometimes. As our families grow and change, sometimes it's not the holidays that we had in the past. As family members die off, as younger family members marry and have kids of their own, there may be less people around the holiday table than there have been in years past. Sometimes those adult kids are celebrating in their own homes or with in-laws on the other side of the family, and they're not with you this year. Sometimes that can feel a little bit tough when you're by yourself or when there's not every family member around. The thing we have to keep in mind and remember is that the holiday season is about the spirit and is about love and it's about family. But it's not confined to a one particular day. And for those loved ones who may not be with you on a particular holiday, it's okay later to have a Zoom call or a phone call and have some time to visit with them and talk about how their day's going and to share some things that went well and that you enjoyed, and just to express your love for each other. But I'd also encourage you to give yourself the gift of time during this holiday season. Take some time to unplug, to relax, to do, as my daughter would say, to chillax, to take some time and relax, and to disengage from all of the hustle and bustle and the busyness and the frenzy, yes, of the holiday season. Taking some time to take a nap, or to read a book, or to sit in quiet and journal for a little while. Those are all gifts that you can give yourself so that you have time to actually reflect on the holiday season, upon family, upon love, and of the things that are the most important to you. It's important to remember that the holidays do not have to be perfect for them to be enjoyable or for them to be memorable. In fact, a perfectly good holiday is simply one that you enjoy your time with whoever happens to be around. Spend your time, your money, and your energy where it matters most, and remind yourself that true perfection truly does not exist. I hope that this year you have a wonderful holiday season. I hope that it is as stress-free as you can make it. The rest is all just tinsel.